What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel, the #1 place for new coaches, content creators, and entrepreneurs. Now, you're watching this video probably because you're interested in learning exactly how I batch create my YouTube videos. Specifically, how I'm going to batch create 3 months worth of videos for July, August, and September in 2 weeks only. So if you're interested in learning why I'm doing this and how I'm going to do this, then keep on watching. All right, so let me first explain the why. Vanessa, why are you crazy enough to batch create 3 months worth of content in only 2 weeks? Well, the reason why is because I have a lot on my plate this summer. I've got a lot of exciting projects that I'm working on. Plus, my video editor, Elena, is gonna be taking all of September off because she's getting married. That's why it's really important for me to front load all of my YouTube work in advance so that I'm not chasing my tail week after week doing content when in fact I should really be focusing on doing my projects instead. And by batch creating all of my content in advance, it's going to allow me to secure the fact that I will be consistent on my YouTube channel. One thing that I really hate is not being consistent here because I've promised you guys that week after week I would be teaching you and giving you value. So in order for me to keep my promise, batching my content in advance, knowing that I have a busy schedule ahead, is top priority. Now, with that quick explanation of why I'm doing this out of the way, let me first tell you exactly what you're gonna get from this video. The first thing that you're gonna learn is how exactly I planned out my schedule for my batch creation. The second thing is how exactly I came up with all the content ideas in less than 2 hours. And last but not least, I'm also going to demonstrate the entire workflow that I use in order to keep myself organized throughout this challenge that I've given myself. So with that being said, let's just get right into it. All right, so the #1 thing that I started doing when thinking about this challenge was reverse engineering the result. And what I mean by this is that if I already know that I need 3 months worth of content, it's really important for me to reverse engineer that and figure out exactly how many specific videos that I need. So in my case, I know that I need 3 months worth of content, and in 3 months, there are 12 weeks. And for my upload schedule, I post 2 videos a week, meaning if you multiply 12 weeks by 2 videos, I'm gonna need 24 content pieces. Now, the next step is me looking at my schedule and understanding how urgent it is for me to finish up all 24 videos, and also being realistic on how many videos I can technically film per day. Now, in my particular case, creating these 24 videos is quite urgent, and the reason for this is because all the other projects that I have planned outside of YouTube is going to require a lot of attention from me, and therefore the sooner that I can create these 24 videos, the sooner I can dedicate 100% of myself to my other projects. Now, in your case, you're really going to need to evaluate how urgent it is to have these content pieces and realistically when you'd like to start. For me, today is, I believe, June 28th, and I'm starting this project right now. And ideally, because of the urgency in place, I would love to finish all 24 videos by mid-July. Now that I have this timeline in place on when I would love to finish up this project, I now have to take a step back and be realistic. Really ask myself, based on my capabilities, my capacity, and also my behaviors in the past, how many videos can I really fit in one sitting? And for me, it's 2 videos. Now for you, it might be completely different. Your capacity might be different than mine. You might only be able to finish 1 video in 1 sitting, and that is absolutely okay. What I'm trying to get at here is you really want to be realistic with this. You cannot expect yourself to go from filming 1 video a day to suddenly filming 5 videos in 1 sitting. It's simply a recipe for disaster. Now at this point in the video, we've really crunched some numbers here. We now understand how many total videos that we're going to need. In my case, it's 24 videos. We've also set a deadline. In my case, ideally, I would love to finish by mid-July. And lastly, we've also set the expectation that you're going to be able, or I'm going to be able to film 2 videos in 1 sitting. Again, your numbers are going to be completely different. Now, the next step is to actually create a plan, to actually schedule all of these things that we discussed. Because you know what they say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. That's why I'm going to share my screen and show you my project management tool, Asana, and how I'm going to make it all happen. All right, so right now we are in my project management tool called Asana, and it is absolutely free. Now, obviously, you can upgrade and pay premium. I actually have a premium account, but everything that I'm showing you can easily do with a free account as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a new project. I'm going to click blank project, and then I'm going to call this the YouTube Master Schedule. Now, depending whether or not you want to do a list or a board, it doesn't really matter at this stage. So what you want to do is just create the project. Now, once you've created the project, you want to go straight to calendar. So when you are on this page, you're going to be able to see everything from a calendar standpoint. Now, I did mention that I'm going to start creating my content on June 28th. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on June 28th, and then I'm going to type film YouTube videos 2 out of 24. Now, you might be wondering, why did I put 2 out of 24? The reason why is because I've already told you that my max capacity generally is only 2 videos a sitting. And the reason for this is based on how my schedule works. I have a lot of client meetings. I have a lot of other things besides YouTube that I do. So I'm only really willing to dedicate 2 videos per day. And the reason why I'm putting 24 is because I know I need 24 videos in total. So knowing this, I'm going to keep repeating this process up until I get a total of 24 videos. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to know the exact date of when I should expect my batching to be finished. Now, on top of this, I'm someone who wants to make sure I at least take breaks. I don't expect myself to be doing videos every single day. So for me personally, I'm going to be taking Saturdays off. When you're doing your schedule, you really want to ask yourself what exactly is realistic to you. And again, like I mentioned earlier on in this video, what is the urgency and what is truly realistic. So I'm going to fast forward this process, but you're going to be able to see what I'm going to do. All right, guys, so as you can see, while I'm plotting all of these things, it's telling me that I'm going to be finishing up my batching schedule around July 11th, which is awesome because that was a deadline that I set for myself. I wanted to finish my batching right before July 15th, which is mid-July. So in your case, it's obviously going to depend on how many breaks you want to take, what is realistic for you, but I like to plot it down on a calendar in Asana in order for me to visually see the exact deadline. Now, obviously, some of you guys might be wondering, Vanessa, how come you just don't use Google Calendar or iMac Calendar or all these things? You can absolutely use a calendar system, but later on in this video, I'm going to show you more things within Asana. So that's why I encourage you to kind of keep it in one place. Now, what you're going to see is that there's one thing of knowing how many videos that you need to film a day, but it's another when you actually allocate the time, the minutes, the hours of how long this project will actually take you day by day. So as you're crunching the timeline using any calendar tool or using Asana like I do, you're going to need to actually factor in the times, not just the days, but the actual time, so it's truly scheduled within your calendar. That's why the next step that you want to factor in is understanding how long it takes you realistically to film one video. In my case, filming a video alone takes me max 3 hours. And if I'm going to film 2 videos a day, it's going to take me 6 hours of filming. So I'm going to need to factor in that time and how it's going to match my daily schedule. So for me, knowing that it's going to take 6 hours, and generally after 12 p.m. I have other meetings going on, I have other things within my business that I need to handle, I now know that my mornings are going to be reserved for YouTube filming only. And I'm going to protect that time by ensuring boundaries are being set, that no other meetings are being slotted before 12, and I'm actually going to put it in my calendar that I need to be filming videos around 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. Again, for you guys, it's going to be completely different. You might not start filming until after 12 p.m. You don't have to film it in the morning. However, I do recommend that you film videos back to back. And the reason why is because after you film a video, you generally have a video high. You're already filming, you're already in the groove, and that's why the second video that you film is going to be a lot easier. Even this video, this is the second video that I'm filming today, and I feel a lot more confident, a lot more into it than I was the video I was filming before. So I really recommend this. All right, so by now you've probably established your schedule. Now it's actually time for us to plan the content. Now in my case, the day that I scheduled out my plan was the same day that I planned my content calendar. Now for you guys, you might want to have one day reserved for scheduling and then the other day reserved for content planning, but in my case, I put them together in the same day. Now, when I say content planning, I don't necessarily mean scripting out the entire video. All I mean is actually creating a content calendar so you know that each day is reserved for what topic in your video. Now, for me, my entire YouTube workflow from scheduling to content ideas to scripting to all of that is all in Asana. So let me share my screen again, show you my Asana project management tool, and walk you through step by step how I plan my content, how I source my content, and how I piece it all together so that all my videos within my YouTube channel tell a cohesive story. All right, so right now we are back in Asana, and what we're going to do is we're going to create a new project. Now we're going to create a blank project, and I'm going to call it YouTube content. And here, instead of creating a list, you're then going to create a board. Then you're going to click Create Project. Now, within this project, what you're going to do is you're going to create a brand new column. And in this column, I'm going to call it Content Ideas. And what you're going to do is you're going to create new content ideas within this column. So for me, I need to have 24 content pieces. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to brainstorm 24 unique individual content pieces and put it within this column. Now, this is what it should look like after you've brainstormed all of your content pieces. You should have the amount of content that you need within this one column. Now, some of you guys might be wondering, Vanessa, I'm stuck. How do I find content ideas? Well, first of all, I want you to check out this video that I have right here, where I show you step by step all the tools and research tactics that I use in order to find content ideas. And secondly, I want to share with you something that I do within my community. Periodically, what I'll do is I'll actually post a story with a question poll asking my audience directly what content pieces they want to see from me. So when I was thinking about all the content pieces that I needed to create for this particular challenge that I set for myself, I actually went back and looked at all the answers that you guys gave me when I asked. Not only this, I also, as you can see, screenshotted a lot of the comments that I get on my YouTube channel as well, so that I know where the question is coming from and why exactly I picked that content piece. Also, maybe in the video, I might need to leverage these screenshots as something to put in the video, so on and so forth. So I like to attach images within my key cards. So let me show you a close-up. One content idea that I had was how to know if a potential client is the right fit. So when I click on this key card, you can then see that there is an attachment. And when you click on the attachment, I now can see where this question came from. And it actually came from my YouTube channel. So like I said earlier, if I were to do video, maybe I'll put the screenshot in the video as well. I just wanted to make sure that I kept track of it. Now, some of you guys might be wondering, how do I do this? How do I attach images to my key cards? It's really easy. All you need to do is use Asana Mobile, and on mobile, you're able to screenshot, add pictures. You can also do it on desktop, but most of the time, I usually just add the pictures through mobile. So as you can see at this point in the video, I've already brain dumped over 24 content ideas, and I did this in around less than 2 hours. And what it really helps is polling your audience, making that a habit. But if you do get stuck, it is totally normal that this takes the whole day, but I do highly recommend that you at least schedule the time to do this in one sitting. Now let's go back to the video. Now at the moment, what you saw recently was me brain dumping all the content ideas that I got from you guys. Now it's time for me to take it a step further and organize it even more. Let's go back into my Asana again so I can show you step by step how I further organize it so that it's clear for me and also clear for my team. For example, my video editor and also my assistant, who needs to be in the loop on what my exact plan is. All right, so now we're back into our Asana, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna add more columns. Specifically for me, because I'm batching July, August, and September, I'm gonna add a column called July, a column called August, and then a column called September. Now that I have all three columns, it's now time for me to sift through all of my content ideas and start putting it in the appropriate months. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at every single piece of content and see which one will go into July, and on top of that, what the sequence will be. As I mentioned before in this video right here, where I talk about how I script my videos and how I strategically organize my videos in order to increase my watch time, I generally like my videos to tell a certain story. For example, let's say the video that I have planned is how I organize my content creation for YouTube. Knowing this, I know a lot of content creators probably struggle with time management. So my next video is probably going to be productivity hacks for busy entrepreneurs. Now, after this video where we talk all about productivity hacks, maybe something that I'll talk about is how to land brand deals and secure sponsorships. And the reason for this is because I know the video that I have planned for the productivity is actually a sponsored video. And so that's why it makes sense for me to do a video all about sponsorships. Now, let's say after I do the video about sponsorships, I'll look at maybe this video right here where I talk about when is the right time to sell to your audience, because I know, a lot of people who do sponsorships, they kind of get a little bit awkward about when is the right time to sell to their audience. So I think that this would be a really great video to do afterwards. So as you can see, what I'm doing here is I'm creating a story. And the reason why is because, as you notice with all of my videos, especially if you aren't new to my channel, I'm always teasing the next video. So I want to make sure that my videos make sense. And if I'm going to plan everything in advance, I'm going to actually take the time to comb through all of my content ideas and not only figure out what month I'm going to be doing the video in, but also the sequence. So what you're going to do is you're going to do this for all of July, August, and September. And after you've done that, you're now going to assign the publishing dates. So when you actually hover over the key cards, you're going to be able to click on the calendar and figure out what day you actually want to post this video. Now, in this case, this video right here is supposed to be posted on July 7th, which is today. And then the next video is going to be posted on July 10th. And then I keep going down the rabbit hole. And once you're done doing this, it's gonna look something like this. So as you can see here, I've already done all of July, August, and September, and all of my videos are already assigned the appropriate dates where I'm thinking of publishing the video on my YouTube channel. And as you can see here on this side in the content ideas, I've got a lot of content ideas left over, which is awesome for me. But basically the idea here is that you're creating the months, you're slotting the videos in, and you're also setting a date. And eventually later on in the video, I'm gonna flesh out even further how this is gonna all unfold. But for now, this is a step that you really wanna focus on in order to ensure that each video actually has a publishing date. So far in this video, I've really walked you through how I plan my content, how I organize it, and how I create the sequence in a way that's going to increase my watch time and keep you guys excited for the next videos. Now, the next step that I have for you is a little bit optional, but I find to be super helpful when it comes to communicating with your team and keeping it truly organized in your business. And that is linking all of your projects to a master file. Now, you might be super confused when I say this, so again, let's just head over back into my Asana so I can show you. Now, so far in the video, I've shown you how to create the master schedule so that you at least lay out when your deadlines are, when you're batching your content. And then we also went over the YouTube content project where you're basically putting all of your content pieces and organizing it in a way that is by month and you're putting deadlines. Now, I'm going to take it a step further and create another project called Business Tasks. Now, for me, this is something that I've already created, so I might as well just show you what I already have. Now, when you go into Business Tasks, you're going to see in a list form all the to-dos within my business that I share with my team. But not only this, if you scroll down, I've also got a business task list for YouTube. And this is where all of my key cards are automatically linked here. So from a bird's eye view, I'm able to see what is coming up. Now, obviously, even if you don't have a team, this is super helpful. So let me show you quickly how you can do this. Now, what you want to do is you want to go into your YouTube content project. And once you enter this project, what you're going to notice for me already is that a lot of them already have the purple highlight on the key cards. And the reason for this is because what you're going to do is you're going to click on a key card, and then within the key card, you're going to see that within the projects, it's already within the YouTube content project, but if you hit the plus sign, you're now able to add it to your other projects as well. So I'm going to link it to my business tasks, and now it's going to automatically turn purple. Now for you, if you use Asana, it could be a total different coloring system. This is just the coloring system that I have. And once you've done that and you click on business tasks, it's automatically going to show up on top right here. Now it's actually up to you to slot it into the right section. So right now I'm going to slot it into my YouTube section and I drop it right here. Now, as you can see, this is something that I've already done with all of my content pieces. So from a bird's eye view, I can literally see everything that is coming up in list form. Now, what I want to also show you is the fact that you can add subtasks within Asana. So let's click on this content piece right here, which is all about this video, how to batch content for YouTube. You'll see all of the information, the due date for it, who it's assigned to. Also, you can see the script that I've already laid out. On top of that, you can also see the screenshots that I've put in as well, just for a reference for me. But what you'll notice is we've also got subtasks that I've put in. Now, this is something that you can easily do on Asana. And what it is the entire workflow for my team. As you can see, I'm the one that has to do the video research. I script the video, I film the video. And then Elena, she takes care a lot about the editing, creating the teasers, the thumbnails. Joyce helps us with the admin tasks and all of that. So it's really a team effort for every video that you see. Now, obviously, this is something that is super optional within your business, but even if you don't have a team, I find that it's really easy and really nice to have something like this so that you have structure, so that you can stay consistent, and so you can stay organized, especially if you are doing a big batch just like me. Now, once I've linked all of the cards to my master file so that myself and my team can really see what's coming next and we have the subtasks in place, the next step that I'm going to do is I'm now going to start scripting my videos, or at least planning for these videos and creating a workflow for my team that makes sense so that my team can really know at what stage I'm at in this batch creating process. Now, at this point, I've shown you a lot within Asana, but I really want to show you something that's even more important, and that is the workflow. So right now I am within my YouTube content project, and what you'll see is obviously the content ideas that I have left over the month of July, the month of August, and the month of September. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to add more columns. So the next columns I'm going to add are script, ready to film, SEO to do, completed, and templates. Now what this means is every time I need to script a video, I'm going to move it to script. This way, my team knows that currently this video is in the scripting process. Now, after I've scripted the video, I'm then going to move it to ready to film. And the reason why is because I want to make sure my team knows that right now the video is in filming progress. After the video is done filming, I put it in SEO, and this is where we'll do the keywords, the final title, the description, any of the links, and all of that. Now, as you can see, this is something that I've been doing for a very long time, and all the videos that I've ever completed within this system are all right here. So once the video is posted, I'll then put them in completed. Now, some of you guys might be wondering what exactly is templates. Well, as you notice in all my YouTube videos, I have the same description that I put in all the time. So to save time, I've actually created a template with the description that I always paste within my description box. And then every time we post a video, I'll just come in here, copy and paste, and then I'm done. So this is a very nice workflow that I've created for myself and my team in order to make things a lot easier. So every time I'm working on a video, I'm always updating my team and putting them within this workflow so that everyone knows what I'm up to, and also for me to keep organized as well. Now, if you have any questions regarding how I script my videos, make sure you check out this video right here where I've already walked through step-by-step my methodology on how I create my YouTube scripts. With that being said, let's go right back into the actual video. Now, at this point in the video, I've really given you the behind the scenes on how I create my workflow and how I organize my content. Now, you might be wondering, okay, great, so now I have this workflow, but what about filming and editing and all of that? That's what takes most of the time. And I completely agree. When it comes to filming, I'm a firm believer that practice makes perfect. And after every single video, you're going to be a lot more quicker and efficient. Not only this, I highly recommend that you check out my existing videos here and also here, where I talk about how I script my videos, how I film them, and also some of the hacks that I use when it comes to equipment. For example, using a remote, let's say, that makes my filming process a lot faster than most. And when it comes to editing videos, in my case, I have a video editor, Elena, and she's been a huge help, which makes it possible for me to even create 24 videos in 2 weeks. Now, I understand a lot of you guys probably don't have the budget or the means to hire a video editor. That's why what I would recommend if I were still in your shoes, which I was about 6 months ago or even 3 months ago, I would actually dedicate an entire day within the week. So let's say you choose every Tuesday or every Friday or every Sunday to edit videos. If you actually dedicated 9 to 5, 8 hours of editing, you would probably be able to edit around 2 videos in that day. Now, if you want to learn more about my productivity hacks, how I get so much done within the week, make sure you hit the notification bell, because in the next video, I'm going to share with you 10 productivity hacks that I have that keep me efficient, even though I'm naturally a pretty lazy person. Not only this, because this is really just the beginning of my journey of challenging myself to batch create 24 videos in 2 weeks, make sure you also follow me on Instagram, because on my Instagram stories, I'm going to be giving you guys daily updates on how I do with this challenge, whether I failed it or I met it and all of that. So I highly would encourage you to check me out on Instagram so that you follow this journey. In the meantime, while you wait for my next video, I highly encourage you to also check out these 2 videos right here. I love to post content to help content creators, entrepreneurs, and new coaches, so I highly recommend these 2 videos as well. As always, guys, I appreciate you. I hope you guys have a great day, a great week, and a great life, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.